One. Hey everybody, this is Andrew Benjamin of MMASucka.com. I got a very special guest of us who will be competing at the Road to UFC Episode 1. With us, we got Jinnosuke Kashimura, who will be taking on Juan Bin Ki. And Kashimura-san is a late replacement to this tournament that's looking to be great. And it'll be going on June 9th, and you can see on the UFC Fight Pass. Kashimura-san, thank you very much for your time. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
よろしくお願いします。
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you and how did you get into Kakutogi?
じゃあ、これを見てる人たちはほとんどみんな初めて柏村さんのことを見てると思うんで、まず自分は何歳の時に何がきっかけで格闘技を始めたんですか？
格闘技は、小学4年生だから、10歳の時に、友達に誘われて柔道から始めました。
Well, when I was in fourth grade, so I believe I was 10 years old, and my friend actually asked me, suggest me to go to judo class with him, and that was the beginning of my kaktogi career.
Okay, and my understanding is that your base is Jiu Jitsu. You've competed at All Japan, I think. You competed at All Japan, and you're a brown belt, and you've gotten many accolades in Jiu Jitsu. What is it about? What attracted you to the jiu-jitsu portion of martial arts?
今、柏村さんの経歴を見ていると、やっぱり BJJ で全日本大会出たりだとか、ね、いろんな、戦績を残してますけども、それで柔術もチャオビで。で、なんで柔道で始めたのに、結局その BJJ に惹かれたその理由っていうのは何なんでしょうか？
柔道がめちゃくちゃ弱くて、なんか寝技強くなったら強くなれるかなみたいな感じで柔術を取り入れるようになって最初は柔道のための柔術だったんですけど、だんだん柔術にはまっていったっていう感じです。
Well, actually, I was pretty bad at judo. I was one of the weakest in the team, so I wanted to learn grappling to win in judo fights. So that was the beginning of everything. But when I started doing all this BJJ, and once I realized I got hooked into BJJ.
Okay, great. And for those that don't know, you've made your entire career in Pancrase. And actually, I want to, before we go into your fight coming up, I want to talk about your fight against Rio Hansen, which was an incredible fight because it looked like you were on the losing side. You were going to lose, but you made an incredible comeback. And I just want you to know, tell us, what did you learn about that fight? May have been the toughest fight you've had so far.
今まで見た試合の中ではもしかしたらその反戦戦が一番タフだったんじゃないかと、劣勢の中で最後逆転勝ちのような勝ち方でしたけども、この試合で例えば学んだこととか気がついたことが何かありますか？
やっぱり自分の弱さであるその打撃の面を磨いていかなきゃいけないなっていうのと、もうちょっとテイクダウン能力があったら楽に試合運びができたんじゃないのかなって思って、それ以降それを重点的に取り組むようにはしてます。
Well, I always knew that my striking is the weakest, and that's what made me realize from that fight. And also, if I have a more ability to actually shoot in and take the opponent down, then I could have done much easier way to get to the finish or to win that fight. So after that fight, I'm emphasizing more on striking and also the wrestling takedown techniques.
And so with this fight coming up, Juan Bin Ki, he's got a lot of fights to his record. Very fought on Road FC mainly. I'm curious to know. Do you know anything? I know this is last minute, but did you happen to do anything, any research on your opponent before after signing?
相手は試合数からしたらもうすごくいっぱい試合してまして、主にロード FC なんですけども、いろんなところで試合して、こういう選手とやることにあたって、この試合を受けるって決める前に、この選手の試合とか全部見てから受けるって決めたんですか？それとも、受けるって決めてから選手の試合を見たのか。でそれによって、その印象ってのはどうです
か？やっぱどっちにしろ多分、戦績的には僕の方が多分下だし、経験値もないなってのは分かってる状態で、相手のことを別にサーチするわけでもなく、とりあえずチャンスだと思って受けたんで、その後から調べ始まって、よりこの人倒せたら面白いなっていう気持ちにはなりました。
Well, I'll be honest with you that I actually took this fight without checking his fight footage at all. because I thought this was a chance, opportunity for me. So even though it's an upper weighted class than I am, I usually fight in featherweight. So then, I decided to take it. Then I started to watch his fights, and now I'm feeling that I think it would be very fun to beat this guy, because I knew that he has more fights than me. I only had 5 fights so far. So I just knew everything that he had more experience.
Actually, that was gonna be my second question, is because I know you've made your entire career at featherweight, and so with this fight being at lightweight, yeah. But any difference in preparing for one weight class above you that you're normally fighting at?
まあ、それでさっきもちょっと話になるんですけど、普段はフェザー級でやってるのが、今回はライトでやるってことに関して、調整とか、その練習とか、なんだったらゲームプランでもなんか違ったことってありますか？
いや、本当に体重の差がちょっとあるだけで、他は別にやることは何も変わらないです。
Well, actually, no. Besides the fact that I'm fighting a 10 pounds heavier weight class, everything else in terms of preparation, training, game plan, it's been the same.
And so, I guess in the meantime, do you have any thoughts on your opponent at this point? Do you see do you think he's where his strengths are, where maybe his disadvantages are?
じゃあとりあえず相手の印象とかどういう選手だと思いますか、相手は。
やっぱりすごい体強そうだし、戦績もいっぱいあって、経験値もいっぱいあって、MMA にしっかり慣れてるんだろうなとは思います。
Well, by looking at his fights, I could tell that he is physically strong and he had a lot of fights, meaning he had a more MMA experience. And his whole body, as an athlete, he's more of an MMA athlete. So in that sense, yeah, sure, he has more experience than myself.
And so, what do you think? What are the advantages that you think that you have going into this fight?
で、逆に自分はこの点が勝ってんじゃないかっていうものはどの部分でしょうかね。
やっぱりグラップリング、そのグラウンドの部分ですね。テイクダウンしたら勝てると思ってます。
Actually, the grappling, entire grappling, I think I'm better. So I believe that if I can take this guy down, I can win this fight.
And so, also, I'm curious to get your thoughts. Also, being that I think this will be your sixth professional fight, and he's been fighting for a long time. 17-5, I believe his record is. And I'm curious to know, what do you think about the experience gap? Is that something? Have you given any thought to that, or are you not worrying about that?
さっきみたいにいっぱいあっちのが試合してると、梶村選手は次が6試合目プロ。に比べてあっちはもう多分22試合ぐらいやってるんだと思うんだけども、その経験のことに関してのギャップってことに関しては、どういうことを考えてます？自分の中では。
ギャップに関しては、その差ってことですよね。
そうそうそう。
いや、その差に関しては多分、離れとかは多分あっちの方がしてるし、試合にしかない独特な雰囲気みたいなのも多分あっちの方が分かってるとは思うんですけど、それに飲まれずやろうかなとは思います。
Well, obviously, this guy has more experience than me in the cage or in the ring. And also, in terms of this specific, very interesting atmosphere you go through in this MMA fights, he has more experience. But that is about it. That's what I feel.
Actually, because there's a lot of fighters who do have many fights on their record who are competing in this tournament. I'm just curious to know, were you surprised when you got the call based on just only having fought in Pancrase and going 4-1 in your career?
どうですかね、パンクラスで試合したことなくて、まだ4勝1敗だった自分に、こんなチャンスが来るというか、お声がかかるとは思いませんでしたか？
いや、それは思ってなかったですね。思ってなかったからこそ、緊急なオファーでも絶対出たいなっていう気持ちでいました。はい。
in a million years, I've never expected a call from a UFC at this point in my career. That's why I decided to take this offer without even checking my opponent's, footage.
I understand. Was it always in your mind to go to UFC down the road? Was that something hoping to get a few more fights in Pancrase, maybe becoming one of the champions there, or what did you foresee your trajectory in MMA?
もしもこの、試合がなかったとしたら、自分のこれからのキャリアとしてはどういうことを考えてますか？例えばパンクラスでチャンピオンになるとか、 UFC を目指すとか、どういったことを考えてましたやっぱり自分の試合ですか？
やっぱこうキンキンな話だとこんな UFC に絡めるとかそういうレベルじゃなかったんで、やっぱりそのコツコツ日本でパンクラスなりディープなりでベルトをとりあえず目指して、そこからまた上にチャレンジしようかなって思ってたんで、この急なチャンスはすごい嬉しいです。
Well, when you asked me that question before I took this fight offer, or before I even received this offer, I've never thought I'm close to UFC yet. So I was thinking about, win a couple more, perhaps maybe win title there in Pancrase and go up in the ladder. But now, I got this opportunity. So I can only think of trying to capitalize on this chance. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And so, being as this also is a tournament structure, please remind me, were you did you participate in Neo Blood in Pancrase?
ネオブラッドトーナメントは出てますけどね。
はい、出ましたね、一回。
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
I have.
Okay, so you are familiar already with a tournament structure. Do you think that's also an advantage, having already fought in a high level tournament that like the Neo Blood, that you know what you're getting into when you're going into this road to UFC tournament?
今回もトーナメントで、この前にもネオブラッドもトーナメントだったんだけど、そのトーナメントに出たことある経験っていうのは、今回のこのトーナメントに関しては何か有利に働くと思います。
いや、それはないですけど、柔術に関しては毎回トーナメントなんで、なんかトーナメントにこう違和感は感じないです。
Well, I don't think I'll have any advantage of having a tournament experiences because it's one fight, And also in terms of tournament, I go through so many tournaments in BJJ, so I feel I feel very ordinary. I don't feel any irregular about being a tournament.
Okay. Actually, speaking of BJJ, now that your MMA career is potentially going to UFC, do you ever plan to do any sort of super fights? Or do you want to do super fights? Do you want to still continue to participate in BJJ? Is that something that is as all as interesting to you?
こういったチャンスが今来て、今回試合することになったんですけども、例えば UFC に行った後でも、もうちょっと、実績を残した後でも、ずっと BJJ でスーパーファイトしたりだとか、そういった BJJ の競技はずっと続けていきたいと思います。
それはありますね。BJJ はずっとやってたいなと。
実際にやってるもんね。
そうですね、やってますね。
Well, yeah, the answer to that is yes, because currently I'm doing that right now. I'm taking a lot of BJJ super fights at the same time as I do MMA.
Okay. Do you would you ever be interested in doing like the flow grappling or actually now that you're MMA combat jiu-jitsu or in Japan if it ever comes back the minority roll ecstasy those things would you ever be willing to do that?
例えばじゃあ日本で今やってるコンバットレスリングだとか、今なりロールエクスタシーだとか、ね、あそこら辺のものになんか興味とかあります？
いや、あります。ああいうのはあります。
Oh, yes. I'm very, very interested in those shows.
Okay, great. And so with this this fight, a lot of probably almost everybody tuning in this will be the first time that they see you fighting. What can you tell them, the fans that are tuning in, that what can they look forward to, what you will bring to a UFC, to this UFC fight?
日本国外で今回の試合を見る人は多分初めて柏村選手のことを見たっていうファンが多いと思うんですね、視聴者は。見る人が多いと思うんで、その人たちに対して何か俺はこういう選手だぞとか、なんか言いたいことがあったら。
はい。やっぱりそのグラップリングの部分は結構自信あるんで、そこを重点的に、こういう寝技系のファイターなんだなっていうニュアンスで見てもらいたいなと思います。
Well, I'm pretty quite confident with my BJJ skills. So I want all the audiences out there to watch me as I'm that type of BJJ fighter doing MMA. That kind of approach that I would like the fans to have.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to know, do you before you go out before you go out in the curtain, do you have like a pre-fight ritual or something that you do to either calm the nerves or get yourself hyped?
試合の時に、試合の前に、控室でも、花道の前でもいいですけども、 必ずやる何かってありますか？例えば落ち着かせるために、また奮い立たせるために、必ず試合前にやることって何かあります？
でも入場曲に選んだその曲を必ず聴くことはずっとやってますね。必ずその一曲を最後に聴く。
Well, the walkout song I choose for the fight, that's the song I always listen to the very end before I make a walkout. So that's my Jiu.
Oh, okay. Actually, if you don't mind me asking, because on the Pancrase show, I couldn't hear the song. What's the song that you come out to usually?
パンクレスのこの前の試合は、ちょっとアメリカで見てると入場曲消されちゃうから聞こえなかったんだけど、何の曲で入ったんですか？あれは
日本のウィリー・ウォンカっていうラッパーの Our Style っていう曲なんですけど。
Well, it's the Japanese rap star song named Our Style. 何つったっけ？ビリー・ゴンガ？
ウィリー・ウォンカです。
Willy Wonka. All right, Willy Wonka.
Really?
It's a Japanese
Oh,
rap.
okay, Willy Wonka. I'm assuming that it's based on the character from the book and the movie. Is that? I'm assuming that there must be a connection.
なんか知ってるかわかんないけど、なんか、ね、映画のブッカのムービーっていうか、なんか映画の。
多分チャーリーとチョコレート工場に出てるやつと名前一緒なんですよね。全然違うんですよ。
Johnny Depp's Charlie's and Chocolate, whatever the factory, that movie? No?
Okay, yes, okay. Well, not the Johnny Depp one, because I think that the Johnny Depp one is Kuso. I like the original one better. I'm also curious to know, Kashimura-san, we've seen a lot of Japanese fighters are coming to the United States to train. Asakura brothers, or Guji's been here for a long time. I'm curious to know, do you see yourself coming to train for some time, or maybe even permanently in the United States?
今、日本はその朝倉兄弟がこっちに来てちょっと練習したりとかして、こうアメリカに来て練習するっていうのはなんかトレンドみたいになっちゃってますけども、自分の中ではそのアメリカとか国会で練習したいとか、そういう予定はありますか？
予定はないですけど、希望はあります。
Well, I don't have any plan yet, but I would love to. You know, it's my hope.
Okay, gotcha. And I guess I guess as we bring this interview to go. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Since I asked it before, and since you are, I asked our previous fighter. Right now in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappling, the big move now is the Buggy Choke. What are your thoughts on the Buggy Choke?
今、ブラジルの BJJ の、中ではこうトレンドと言われているのが例のバギーチョークなんだけども、あれってどう思いますって、技は。やってますとか、MMA
僕、体硬くてできないんですけど、すごい有効的な技だなと思います。
Well, I'm not flexible enough to execute that move, but I think it's a very effective move.
Okay, gotcha. And actually, let me get a prediction from you. Do you see this fight going the distance? Do you see you finish your opponent in the first, second, or third? Give us some mystic Kashimura thoughts.
どうですかね、話せる部分でいいんですけども、試合予想はどんな展開になってどれぐらいでフィニッシュするとか。
1ラウンドでしっかりテイクダウン奪って、パパッと決めちゃいたいと思います。多分そんな感じで。
I would love to take him down smoothly on the first round and execute that move and just set him up and finish him.
Okay, great. And Kajimura-san, I just want to get anything you want to plug, your social media, sponsors, gym, dojo, whatever you want to do, the floor is yours.
じゃあ最後にスポンサーとか、例えば誰でもいいですけど、ファンとか何かこうメッセージありましたらどうぞ。
メッセージは、ちょっと待ってくださいね。
He has something memorized. Wrote down.
Great, beautiful.
There's a memo.
僕はいつもパレルさんを。
Oh, yeah, Marion. I've heard of them before.
Yeah, I've been sponsored by this apparel for quite a while.
これを着て練習してるんで、これがしっかり目立てるように頑張ろうと思います。はい。
Well, I'm wearing this all the time, so I'm looking forward to make this under the spotlight this Thursday, so I have to do it well in the octagon.
Okay, yeah, great. And if you have any last comments you want to say about your fight or your opponent, the floor is yours as well, sir.
じゃああともう一つ最後になんか 対戦相手とか、まあ試合に関してなんか言いたいことがあったら。
まあ相手に関しては全然別になくて、ただ俺のそのグラップリングでちゃんと決めれるっていう力を見てもらえたらいいと思います。
Well, I have no message for the opponent. I respect them. I just want everybody to see that I do have ability to finish the fighter with my BJJ skill.
Okay, great. And you can see Jinnosuke Kashimura take on Juan Bin Ki at Road to UFC Singapore, Episode 1, June 9th, available on the UFC Fight Pass. And Kashimura-san, thank you very much. Very happy that you made it this quickly so far to UFC. A lot of people have been fighting for a long time, and they still are in UFC, but you now have a big opportunity ahead of you, and looking forward to you fighting this week. Gambate des.
ありがとうございます。Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.